Camera? Okay. Good morning, fellow commission members, staff members, attorneys, and guests. The date is Friday, July the 22nd, 2016 at approximately 9:30 a.m. I'm Minnie Ann Lane, your commission chairman, and I'll now call to order the meeting of the Tennessee Private Investigation and Polygraph Commission. I'd like to request the Executive Director, Cody Vest, call the roll and verify a quorum, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. David Brown.
Here.
Larry Flair.
Here, ma'am.
David Horton. Rick Jones. Minnie Ann Lane.
Here.
Jerry Richards.
Here.
Dr. Rich.
Present in Chattanooga.
Alan Russo.
Here.
Let the record show that David Horton and Rick Jones are not present, but you do have a quorum, Madam Chair, and Dr. Rich is calling in telephonically.
Thank you, Executive Director Vest. I'll ask that each commission member, if you've received and had time to review the copy of the agenda, and if there's a motion to adopt the agenda.
So move. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Russo, second by Commissioner Brown. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody that opposes? No.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Madam Chair, to interrupt, but since we do have a commission member doing it telephonically, we will have to have a verbal roll call.
Okay, I'll request that you do that, please.
All right, thank you. Dr. Rich?
Aye.
Jerry Richards?
Aye.
Larry Flair?
Aye.
Minnie Lane?
Aye.
Alan Russo?
Aye.
David Brown?
Aye.
Ayes have it, Madam Chair.
Thank you. If each of the commission members has reviewed the minutes of the March 18, 2016 commission meeting, then I'll ask if there's a motion to approve these minutes as they're presented.
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Russo,
Second.
second by Commissioner
Richard.
Richards. Okay. Any discussion? Okay, I'll ask for a roll call.
Dr. Rich?
Aye.
Jerry Richards?
Aye.
Larry Flair?
Aye.
Minnie Lane?
Aye.
Alan Russo?
Aye.
David Brown?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
At this point, the next item on our agenda will be the election of a vice chairman, and I'll respectfully request that someone make a motion if they would like for us to delay this until we have a full quorum, or we have a quorum, but we have the full board here.
I'll make that motion, Madam Chairman. Larry Flair.
Motion by Commissioner Flair, second by
Second.
Commissioner Brown. Roll call.
Dr. Rich?
Aye.
Jerry Richards?
Aye.
Larry Flair?
Aye.
Minnie Lane?
Aye.
Alan Russo?
Aye.
David Brown?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you. Now we go to the legal report under Exhibit A, and I'm going to respectfully request that our Assistant General Counsel, Ashley Thomas, handle this legal report, which will be Exhibits B and C, and then I think we have some, those are appearances? Yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll start with the legal report. The first case is 2016-015-891 and 2016-015-892. This is a consumer complaint alleging that respondent failed to provide a written report and or statement of charges related to the investigation. Complainant alleges that respondent was hired as an investigator and paid $2,500 through an escrow account on November 19, 2014. Complainant states that respondent failed to provide updates on the status of the investigation timely or provide a written report when requested. Complainant states that approximately 1 year after contracting, respondent provided an audio recording but still did not provide a written report. Complainant requests the complete file or a return of the money paid. Respondent states that an investigation was conducted through October 2015, reviewing case notes and documents, conducting investigative research, interviewing witnesses, and attempting to obtain additional documentation from the local police department. Respondent states that contact with the client was maintained via telephone, text messages, and email. Respondent states that around August 2015, he suffered 2 major medical events causing a delay in his work as he is a small company. Respondent states that he last contacted the complainant on October 30th, 2015, and he cannot find evidence of a written report being provided. Respondent states that this was an erroneous oversight and has never happened in the more than 20 years he has been in the private investigation business. Respondent provided a copy of the invoice as part of this investigatory file. My recommendation is to authorize a formal and send a consent order with the civil penalty in the amount of $500 for violation of Tennessee Comprehensive Rules and Regulations 1175-04-.06, subpart 4, and Tennessee Comprehensive Rules and Regulations 1175-04-.08.
Is there a motion?
Madam Chairman, I move that we accept the recommendation of council.
Motion by Commissioner Russo to accept recommendation of council. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Richards. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Rich,
Aye.
Jerry Richards,
Aye.
Larry Flair,
Aye.
Minnie Lane,
Aye.
Alan Russo,
Aye.
David Brown.
Aye.
Ayes have it, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Okay, complaint number 2 is 2016-025-481. This is an anonymous complaint alleging unlicensed activity by respondent. The complaint alleges that respondent is providing investigatory work for a licensed Tennessee attorney without being properly licensed. Respondent states that no investigative work has been done for an attorney or individual at any time. Respondent states that he has served civil process for the attorney named in the complaint, as well as other attorneys in the area. Respondent states that he has previously declined a request for investigative work due to his employment position. Additionally, the attorney named in the complaint denies contracting with the respondent for investigative work. The attorney states that respondent has only done service of process for her as an attorney. My recommendation is to close this complaint as the allegations are not substantiated.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion that we accept council's recommendation. Larry Flair.
Motion to accept the attorney's recommendation by Commissioner Flair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Brown. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Rich,
Aye.
Jerry Richards,
Aye.
Larry Flair,
Aye.
Minnie Lane,
Aye.
Alan Russo,
Aye.
David Brown.
Aye.
Ayes have it, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
And complaint number 3 is 2016-026-841. This complaint opened alleging that respondent knowingly made a false report to a client in relation to an investigation in violation of Tennessee Code annotated 62-26-221, subpart 3. Complainant alleges that after applying for employment, respondent failed to contact all previous employers in its background check, which resulted in her not obtaining the position. Through investigation, respondent states that all references listed on the employment application were contacted, with the exception of complainant's most recent employer, which was noted in the results. Respondent states that attempts made to reach complainant in conducting the background screening were unsuccessful. Finally, respondent states that complainant was not offered employment because she failed to supply additional information and did not meet the other requirements of the job. This information was corroborated by the potential employer. In this case, I recommend closure as the allegations were not substantiated.
Do we have a motion?
Madam Chairman, I'm Larry Flair. I'll make a motion to accept council's recommendation.
Motion by Commissioner Flair. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Commissioner Richards. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Rich,
Aye.
Jerry Richards,
Aye.
Larry Flair,
Aye.
Minnie Lane,
Aye.
Alan Russo,
Aye.
David Brown.
Aye.
Ayes have it, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That concludes the legal report.
Okay. I guess next, following the agenda, we will have the appearances.
Yes, we're going to, since our appearances are here, we'd like to go ahead and ask them to come up.
Okay.
Mr. Davis, are you here? Okay, Mr. Davis doesn't appear to be here yet. How about Mr. Riggs? Would you come up, please, sir, and have a seat? Yeah, I hate it. You can
Podium where
stand
there's a
at the podium
microphone,
if
whichever.
you speak into the microphone. You might have to push the speak button. Is it working? There you go. This is Exhibit C. This is Michael Edward Riggs. He's here because we have denied his previous application for a private investigator due to a material misstatement. If you look at your Exhibit C, he said no to the arrest questions on his application. He has a 1986 bad check and a 1992 DUI. He does have the written explanation, and we do have court documents.
Mr. Riggs, if you'll give us just a second to look at these documents, and then I'll come to you and see what you want to tell us. Mr. Riggs, would you like to talk to us in the form of explanation? I know you've written something here, but if you would tell the commission members.
Well, on the bad check charge, I was completely unaware of that until I applied for the PI. And, of course, I went and pulled, they run copies of the summons, and it did show it was dismissed.
Dismissed.
And the DUI, I'd forgotten about it. Clearly, I would have marked yes if I'd have thought of it.
It shows you were on probation for 11/29, so that would be 94 to 95.
I'm not aware of that unless it had something to do with the DUI.
It was the DUI.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Commission members, do you all have any questions?
Madam Chair, the reason that Mr. Riggs is here, I'll try to refresh your memory. He was denied due to a material misstatement on his application, which means he has to wait 6 months as he appeals before the commission. And I know it might not be, his record might not be extensive, but that is a requirement that he does appeal. So that's why he's before you today.
Biggs, I remember you coming in here before, and your letter states, to be honest, I had forgotten about the DUI, and I'm just at a loss to understand how a man can forget that he's been arrested for DUI. I don't care how long ago it was.
That's true. And if I had thought of it and clearly marked no, that would tell me, I was asking for trouble. So, I mean, yeah, I just forgot about it.
Did you not get anything from the sheriff or the court stating that you had completed your probation period? That's a year later?
I may have. I mean, it's been so long ago, I don't remember.
Questions for Mr. Riggs?
Madam Chair, Paul Rich in Chattanooga, I too find it unbelievable that you wouldn't remember having received a DUI. If it had been 3 decades, it seems like you'd remember that. It's just an observation. It puzzles me why you didn't check that, because if you'd have checked it and explained it, you probably wouldn't have to be here today. That's just my comment.
Weren't able to hear. Just a moment, Dr. Rich.
Yes, ma'am.
We do have a court reporter with us today. I don't think she was able to catch what you said. Could you?
I just said that I have a problem believing the person would not remember having been arrested for a DUI, no matter how long the period of time was.
Thank you.
Madam Chairman, I have a question, probably of the director, if I may. Correct me, please, Ms. Cody. This gentleman, if the motion is upheld, a motion made that we uphold our pass, 6 months from now, Mr. Riggs has the opportunity to come back and reapply. Is that correct?
If you accept his explanation today and grant him a license, he would get it today.
Right.
If you deny him, he must wait another 6 months to make an application.
Would that be 6 months from today's date, or would that be 6
I'm going to
months from...
say, yeah, 6 months from when we notified him. Is it July the 7th?
Thank you. I have a motion. I'd like to make a motion that we upheld our previous judgment in this case.
A second.
You mean to deny the application? I'm making
Correct.
sure I understand what the
Correct.
deny the appeal.
Correct.
Motion by Commissioner Flair to deny the appeal, second by Commissioner Rousseau. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Rich,
To deny.
Jerry Richards,
To deny.
Larry Flair,
Aye to deny.
Minnie Lane,
Abstain.
Alan Russo,
Aye.
David Brown.
Aye.
The ayes have it, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Your application is denied, and of course, as Executive Director Cody pointed out, you can apply again in 6 months from July the 7th, you said?
July the 7th.
7th. Good luck to you.
All right, moving on to the next one, I'm going to ask again if Mr. Davis is here.
Yeah, I just remember, he asked me.
Probably talking about the case.
Application.
We don't have names when they first come before us.
I thought he meant I had appeared before.
I remember this case before.
It's your application, your application is what he's speaking of, not of
The
you
first time
personally
they-
Oh,
being
personally,
here.
okay. I'm
Not
sorry.
your appearance.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We will be sending you some correspondence with explanation as well. Thank you.
The other appear.
It appears like he is not here.
Okay.
If he does show up,
We can put it in there.
We'll just put him in there if you'd like.
Okay, I'll show the next on the agenda will be the administrative matters, and I'd like to turn that over to you, Executive Director Vest.
Right, if you would. We're going to start with Exhibit D. Dr. Rich, we're going to go to Exhibit D.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Excuse me, it is a disciplinary report. This is something that I show to you every month, but it is in a different format. That's why it's going to look a little different to you. In the month of March, you had one revocation. It's the only activity we had in March. We didn't have any activity in April, May, or June. Is everybody following? Okay. So you can just take a look. That has all our programs, of course, on there, but we're only concerned with yours. We did have the one consent order that was signed for the revocation. What any other activity on your programs? No questions on that, we'll just move forward to the next one. That would be Exhibit E, which monthly reports. Dr. Rich, this is Exhibit E.
I'm looking at it. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. I have March, April, May, and June in this packet. I'll go ahead and do March, but all of them are the same. You have commission member vacancy, one commissioner member vacancy, which is a public member, Alan Russo. Term expired on September the 30th, 2014. Mr. Russo is not eligible to be reappointed, but continues to serve until appointment is made by the governor's office. I will also tell you, if you look at your expiration dates, I believe 5 members are going to expire this September. We do, of course, wish for them to continue serving until the governor appoints a new position. Someone else in their position, excuse me. If you will turn over to the monthly report for April, there's a little different there. It says 2 commission member vacancies. Of course, we do have Alan Russo's vacancy from September the 3rd, 2014. But we also had Commissioner Walt Valentine resign, and his position has not been filled by the commissioner. Not any more, excuse me, if there's not any questions about this one, we'll just continue on. Because it's a repeat of what we've done from month to month when we turn this in. In the June monthly report on our marketing research, I have been invited along with the administrative assistant Beth Bell to attend the Tennessee Electronic Security Association annual trade show. They like for us to have a booth be available to answer any questions to their members, and we do have like a 2-hour slot to speak, and that is in September.
Is that in Gatlinburg?
It's in Pigeon Forge.
Pigeon Forge.
I have not received the approval on yet, but we have submitted it. If you don't have any questions on Exhibit E, we'll go to F. Dr. Rich, this is Exhibit F. Do you have that?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I'm going to streamline this a little bit for you and give you the totals. I do not have your budget for the end of the year, which ended in June. Every July 1, we start your program off with a 0 balance. We must generate enough income to keep the program running. I don't know if it's kind of hard to read this, but that's why I've condensed it down. Your revenue, this is just as of May. Your revenue is $180,205.64. Your expenditures are $105,627.75. That left you a total of $74,577.89. Well, we have to put cost backs in there. And that is something that's new in your package. You can see that they have given me the breakdown for your cost backs, except for one item. Your cost backs from that total of 74, now this is depending on my math is correct, leaves you a total of $30,917.86. Out of that must come that $10 fee that we pay per license. So you have right now 536 private investigators. You have 258 companies for a total of 794 actual licenses for your company, for your program. We're seeing just as many new come in as those that are falling off or not renewing. You're not really gaining anything here. Mostly what I'm seeing with your program is all computer based. We still have the normal divorce of the domestics that you do, whatever, but a lot of your profession now is strictly going to computer based. We get more and more questions on that. And the companies that are coming in are also the computer-based companies. I will supposed to be getting the June totals anytime, but we don't meet again until September the 16th, and at that time I will give you your ending total. I will go ahead and send out to each commission member the totals for June whenever I get the completed budget. I'll get like 3 or 4 different runs on it, so I'm going to wait till I get the actual year-end totals. But from what I can see right here with your balance, we're not in any fear of not having any income. One time we did talk about, we were so close, we were talking about raising fees. I don't see there's a need to raise fees here. If there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Dr. Rich, did you have any questions?
I have none, madam.
All right, thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and do G, Exhibit G. Dr. Rich, you got Exhibit G?
Yes, ma'am. Legislative update?
Yes.
Yes, I have that.
Hold on just a moment, Dr. Rich.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going to ask Attorney Thomas to talk about this one.
The legislative update, there was a notify that went out July 1st to notify licensees of the Right to Earn a Living Act that will require each state licensing authority to review its laws and rules to make sure, in essence, that it's not too restrictive. As of now, legal is still looking at it to determine exactly how we're going to handle that. As soon as I have more information, I will be able to give that to the commission.
This Right to Work Act is for all the programs. So Attorney Thomas and I will be sitting down and going over probably line by line laws and your rules line by line. If we see that we're going to have to request any corrections or adjustments or any laws or rules that we have to explain on the Hill, we may ask the chair to come or either the committee to appear if we have to appear on the Hill.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, let's go to the next one, and that is going to be Exhibit H. And this is just for your information. Dr. Rich, you have Exhibit H?
I do.
All right, thank you. We have copies for the commission members to take home and study. This is just for your information. The polygraph laws and rules suggested changes that the association may make for the polygraph. 6227-107A8 make it acceptable to allow federally certified polygraph examiners automatically eligible for Tennessee polygraph license. All federally certified examiners have, by their certification, exceeded all of the requirements of the rules and laws of Tennessee polygraph to become an examiner. We do not have an opinion on this at all. This is just information. 6227-111A1 make a provision for the Tennessee PI and polygraph administrative personnel to be given the authority to approve interim polygraph permits based on the applicant meeting all the requirements of the laws and the rules. No need to wait for the commission to meet. This can make the intern stagnate if there is no meeting scheduled. That's just giving our staff the authority to go ahead and approve the intern. 6227-123DG, polygraph examinations for pre-employment. Do we not want to know if a person being considered for employment with any city, county, or state police agency has been involved in a crime that is over 5 years old? It was suggested we eliminate this section totally. We may need to add a section relating to pre-employment testing to eliminate the confusion. Providing the examinee with a copy of the questions should be eliminated. With digital polygraph equipment, this is unnecessary printing. 6227-125-1. Providing a copy to the examinee seems another waste of printing. We have the ability for them to sign digitally and eliminate the use of paper. Now, like I said, we do have, and there's others. I just read the one page for you there. There are others. That's why I said we have given it to you. And Dr. Rich, we'll make sure you get a full copy, unless you already have a copy.
Well, please, ma'am, email it to me, because I've committed to Beth that after this meeting I will destroy all these things in my possession.
All right, yes, so we'll make sure you get a copy.
I appreciate that, because I intend to destroy all of these as soon as our meeting is completed.
All right, that'll be fine. Thank you. Madam Chair, I'd like to call for, before we, I think our next next appearance is here, but I'd like to call for about a 5-minute break.
All right, that'll be fine. 5-minute break. I'll call the meeting back to order, and since we have the other appearance, we'll go ahead and handle that if that's all right.
Yes, ma'am, but let me interject just a moment. I'm sorry I forgot, especially with Dr. Rich, to explain that we do have a court reporter, and we will be having a court reporter for all our meetings, and then she will be doing our minutes as well for us. I will be bringing them back in September for you to vote for them to be the official minutes. So we set of minutes. You will notice the camera in the back of the room because we are streaming live. This is something new that has started. We've been trying to do this for a long time so the general public will be able to enjoy our commission meetings as much as we do on a live basis. That you will be getting correspondence along with all the public as to how you can view those through the, I don't know whether they're going to Facebook or they're going to have a link right on our page that you can just link, be a whole lot quicker. Just click right on it and be watching the commission meeting. Of course, I wish to thank all of you for speaking into the microphone, trying to speak slowly so that myself as well for the court reporter. And I was remiss by not explaining to you who is sitting to my left. I forgot. I'm sorry. Sean has been with us a while now. You probably had Phyllis last time, but Shauna will be assisting Beth from now on for both the PI and the alarm meetings. And Shauna, I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Shauna Blasey, and I've been working with PPS for almost about 4 months now. So,
Well, welcome.
glad to be here.
We feel like Beth needs to have some assistance, some help. She's done a great job in everything that she does and will continue to do. This is not a replacement. This is just assistance to help make sure everything's as smooth as it always has. We can move on now. Thank you for that. We can move on to our appearance. If Mr.
Madam
Riggs,
Chairman, may I ask her one question first?
yes,
With regard to the proposed polygraph changes, what happens to this now?
that's up to the association. All I did was bring it to the commission since we are a polygraph, and you are the polygraph individual. I'm just bringing it to you to let you know this is what the association is talking about doing as far as legislation is concerned.
So they bring it before the board?
No, no, they would not bring it before the board. This is their proposed legislation for the Hill.
I'll
And
change.
the rule changes.
Rule.
Yeah. And once it does that, that will come back. If it does get passed, it does come back to us, and then of course we do come back to you. We'll have a rulemaking hearing if need be. But this is just information. If you have any questions, you should contact the association. All right. Do we have Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Would you please come up, sir? If you go back into your package, you will see that's just going to be Exhibit B. Dr. Rich, do you have Exhibit B?
I do.
Mr. Davis is here because to appeal his denial, he had to, of course, just like the other gentleman, must wait 6 months or else he has to ask to appear before the commission. He said no on his application to arrest questions, and in 2001 was driving on revoked license, manufacture and sell possession of a dangerous weapon in 2009. You do have his written explanation, and of course he is here today to answer any questions that you might have.
Give us just a minute to review this, and then I'll come to you. I understand that you have provided us a letter here from a hearing officer saying that there was no criminal complaint filed on the incident at the airport.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. You want to explain to the commissioners anything you have to say about this?
I believe what you reviewed was my appeal letter, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, we
yeah.
have that, and we've reviewed it. That's
Okay.
what took us so long.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty poignant in the appeal letter. I mean, that pretty much explains the circumstances.
We're down to
Happy
the
to answer
driving
any
on
questions.
revoked in
I'm sorry?
Nashville. The
Say again.
driving on revoked in Nashville is what you're referring to.
For either one.
Okay.
There were 2 points that came up. One was the arrest in California in 2009, and the other one was for the driving suspended, 2001, I believe.
Have questions?
Why was your license revoked?
I'm sorry, say
Was there a reason your license was revoked?
I believe at the time it was a Kentucky license. I was living in Nashville. It was administrative, I believe. I don't remember the details. It wasn't, honestly, it was 15 years ago. I really do not recall what the reasons were. But I mean, it wasn't for anything as far as like a DUI or something like that. Insurance related. I didn't have insurance or something. That's a guess. I know at that time that was something I was dealing with as well. But
Why didn't you mark yes on your application and then provide an explanation?
I'm sorry, say again.
Why did you not mark yes on the application and then provide an explanation?
As it was explained to me by my attorney in California, it was explained to me that the arrest was expunged, and because that was a specific, I went through quite a bit as far as retaining counsel for this. It was relatively minor, but it was something that I didn't want to come up in future background checks, what have you. So I wanted to make sure that I did everything I could to satisfy that. He told me that it was something that was expunged, would be expunged from my record completely, and that I did not have to put that forward as far as being an arrest going forward because of that reason. I have since talked to him regarding this because it has come up with this and a couple other things before. He said the explanation again that I had was, is California one hand not talking to the other, as far as it's something that's not supposed to be in the records anyway because of the way it was dismissed.
Was there an expungement order entered?
I believe so.
Do you have a copy? Did your attorney have a copy? He would be the one that would initiate it. Did he have a copy of it?
Reach out specifically on that, but I mean, this is something that was, dismissed for cause. It could not have been an arrest in the first place, and that was the finding of the hearing.
What about the driving on revoked?
On that, I was not aware that was a criminal charge. I thought that was a vehicle. Again, something I've never had come up before as far as being a negative on a background check, of which I've had
The
plenty.
question is, have criminal charges ever been placed against you in Tennessee? Yeah, or in any other state? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And you answered no.
Yes, ma'am. I did not believe that constituted criminal. I thought that was like a speeding ticket. It was not my intent to mislead, certainly.
Madam Chair, may I ask a question? Rich here in Chattanooga.
Go ahead, Dr. Rich.
Applicant, when you were caught in Nashville driving on a suspended license, did I understand you were at that time licensed in Kentucky?
I believe so.
Okay. And
But I'm not.
what state were you a resident at that time?
At that time, around that time, I had just moved to Nashville.
Okay. Were you not aware that you're supposed to transfer your driver's license from one state to another pretty rapidly?
I believe I was, and again, I'm not 100% on the time frame. I may have misspoken as far as stating that I had a Kentucky license at the time. I'm really not sure.
You were aware
Again-
that Kentucky at that time had just recently moved to Nashville.
Yes, sir. I lived in Lexington prior to that, and had just relocated to Nashville. Right in that time period, I don't know if it was in a 30-day span or whatever. I do know that I had a Tennessee driver's license around that time period. I just don't know if it was at the time of this incident or not.
One more quick question.
Sure.
When this happened at LAX, what state were you a legal resident at that time?
2009, Louisville.
You were a resident of Louisville, Kentucky when this happened in LAX.
Yes, sir. I was working a extended contract in California at the time. It was a 10-month contract.
Okay. That's fine.
I was back and forth frequently.
Okay. That's all, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
One quick question, Madam Chairman.
Commissioner Flair?
I'm Larry Flair. Sir, in Tennessee on the DL violation, did they cuff you and put you in a car and carry you down? Did they require you to come into the booking and require the citation fulfillment, as they call it, a citation, or did they hand you paperwork there and let you go about your business? Do you remember, sir?
No, I do believe I had to go through
With the commissioner?
I'm sorry?
The night commissioner, they call it, or the day commissioner in front of him or her, and they said that you were on a revoked license, and then you had to post some sort of a little bond and then come back. Is that the procedure? Do you recall?
I do not recall. But I do believe I there was I don't remember what happened as far as I did go through a booking process, I believe, as you referred to it. But I don't remember specifically, I'm sorry, I'm not clear. It was quite a while ago.
The questions of... We have a motion?
Make the motion that the application be denied.
I'll second it, Madam Chairman. Larry Flair.
Motion by Commissioner Richards to deny this application or appeal of the application. Second by Commissioner Flair. Any further discussion?
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
May I ask it?
Yes, sir.
For what reason?
Wants to know why he's being denied.
It was upheld. It was denied previously, and he made the motion to uphold the previous denial.
I'm sorry.
Isn't that correct?
I'm just trying to seek some clarity. For what reason?
His statement of...
Is that we need to finish our vote.
We have a
I believe,
motion on
first.
board.
We have a motion on the floor. Dr. Rich,
To deny.
Jerry Richards,
To deny.
Larry Flair,
Aye to deny.
Minnie Lane,
Abstain.
Alan Russo,
Aye.
David Brown.
Aye.
Ayes have it, Madam Chair. The
Thank you.
gentleman is asking the commission why he is being denied. If I'm not mistaken, he's being denied because he made a material misstatement on his application.
That's exactly why. That was sent in the letter to you, why it was denied. You are appealing it now, and the commission is upholding the previous.
So my explanation does not meet criteria for the appeal?
Well, we're not here to determine guilt or not as far as the incident. We're here to determine if you made a misstatement on the application. That was why you were denied to begin with.
Madam Chair.
Had you answered yes and put an explanation, as Commissioner Richards said, you wouldn't be here today.
I believe Dr. Rich wants to make a statement.
Madam
Okay.
Chair, does the applicant understand he can reapply in 6 months?
Yes, I do. It's
And include, and I, I'd get all my documentation straightened if you reapply, or you'll be facing the same consequence. It's pretty simple to me. So
I understand.
not a criticism. It's just I would suggest when you reapply that you get complete documentation, and you won't be having another hearing.
Certainly, and I do understand that. I was actually just hoping that I had satisfied that at this point without having to go through the whole process again. Again, this was a mistake, not something to mislead or construe. I believe I've satisfied the requirements of the original application with the documentation that I've provided now. Why do I need to go back through this process again if that's the case? That's what I don't understand. I'm sorry.
Well, the commission here has upheld the previous ruling, and that's the reason you have to go back through it.
Yes, so you'll be getting correspondence from us, but you will need to wait 6 months to reapply.
Good enough. Thank you.
Let me go back to our other appearance, if I may, for just a moment. Madam Chair, I believe that was B, Mr. Davis. I want to make it clear. You have not seen you did not see the application. It was not Davis?
That's Riggs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was Mr. I'm sorry. Excuse me, Michael Riggs. We went out of order. You had not seen his application, or have you seen the gentleman before? The office denied his application because he made a material misstatement, did not list down his charges or convictions, whatever they might have been. We denied it for material misstatement. He had the right to appear and appear before you today, and that's what he was doing. I didn't want Commissioner Richards to think that he had seen him before or looked at his application. He had not. No commission member had. The office denied the application, just like we did with the second one. Hope that clears up any misconceptions there.
It's good it's on the record like that. Okay, I guess we're ready to move on to the agenda. Okay, next on our agenda, we have listed the education report, and I'm requesting our administrative assistant, Beth Smith Bell, to handle this item. I want to show that it is reflected that the Education Committee met here publicly at 9 o'clock before the public to go over these.
Using these things.
And this will be Exhibit G and I. Okay.
And as Ms. Lane stated, Chairman Lane, the Education Committee meets at 9 o'clock before we start the commission meetings to deliberate in public if there are any questions about any of the continuing education that is submitted. The committee members that were present this morning are Alan Russo and Minnie Lane. Also on that committee are Dr. Rich and David Horton, who's not in attendance today.
Let the record show, Madam Chair, that I read all the materials associated with these applications.
Did you have any questions, Dr. Rich, about any of the courses that were submitted?
I do not.
Okay. So the courses that were submitted, and the recommendation this morning was to approve these courses. I'm going to read them into the record. Randall K. Henshaw has submitted an 8-hour course he took in Alabama to meet his continuing education for his Alabama license. That recommendation was to approve acceptance of that. Frank Lax has submitted a 16-hour certificate of instruction that he received from the Tennessee Constable Association. Recommendation was to approve that. Jimmy Leach and Dennis Mays were both presenters at an interview and interrogation techniques presentation that was offered by the University of Tennessee at Martin and given at the Memphis Police Department Training Academy. They've requested 16 hours of continuing ed for their presentation. There is another seminar. It's an 8-hour seminar called Advanced Interviewing Concepts. It was offered and sponsored by the Gatlinburg Police Department, and it was also offered in Memphis, sponsored by the Memphis Police Department. It's an 8-hour continuing ed course. Recommendation was to approve that. Leading Edge Legal Ed is an online provider of continuing ed for attorneys and investigators. They have submitted 3 courses for review. Ethics for Legal Professionals, Truth and Consequences, which is 1 hour. Homeland Security, Enemies Domestic, which is 2 hours. Homeland Security, Enemies Foreign, which is 2 hours. Recommendation was to approve those. The National Investigative Training Academy is also an online provider of continuing education. They've submitted 4 courses. Report Writing for the Investigator, which is a 4-hour course. Social Media for the Investigator, which is a 6-hour course. Successful Interviewing for the Investigator, which is a 4-hour course. And Successful Investigator Traits, which is a 4-hour course. Recommendation was for approval of those. We had one other item that we added. Keith Jeffers had submitted several different seminars that he's attended, and we reviewed that this morning, and the recommendation was to accept that to meet his 12 hours of continuing ed for his private investigator license. That is all of the education we had for this meeting. I would request that a commission member please make a motion that we approve these as read into the record.
I'll make that motion, Madam Chairman. Larry Flair.
Motion by Commissioner Flair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Brown. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Rich,
Aye.
Jerry Richards,
Aye.
Larry Flair,
Aye.
Minnie Lane,
Aye.
Alan Russo,
Aye.
David Brown.
Aye.
Ayes have it, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
One other education item. Previous member Walt Ballantyne was a member of the committee, and when he resigned from the commission, it left us with only a 4-member committee. Chairman Lane asked for volunteers this morning, and David Brown volunteered to join the education committee. We just wanted to note that on the record.
Congratulations,
Thank
dear.
you.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Brown.
Thank you.
Thank you
you.
for your service as well. We appreciate you agreeing to be on that committee. You all, the committee members.
Appreciate that. Next, we have unfinished business, and I'll ask if there's anybody that has any unfinished business. Okay, if not, we have new business. Is there any new business?
Yes, I would like to tell the commission that the Nevada Private Investigators Licensing Board will host the 2016 conference of the International Association of Security and Investigative Regulators, October the 26th to 28th in Las Vegas. There is a board meeting on October the 25th, which is first, but myself or the attorney are not on any committees at this time. We have submitted myself, as long with Attorney Thomas, to attend the conference. This conference covers all of our security: the alarm board, the locksmith board program, of course your program, and private protective services. So, and the state of Tennessee is one of the founding states for this association. Any member is eligible to go. I gave this out to you. There are certain restrictions to it, regulations that you have to adhere to. So if any of you are interested, just get with me or Beth, and we'll be glad to submit your names or tell you how to go about signing up for the conference. But I believe that's all I have, Madam Chair.
Okay. Is there anyone signed up on a continuing education forum? Okay, that's enough. There being no further business, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn the July 22nd meeting of the Tennessee Private Investigation.
Madam Chair, may I speak, please?
Dr. Rich has asked to speak.
Go ahead, Commissioner Rich.
I want to express my deep appreciation to Beth and Cody and the commissioners for allowing me to participate in this forum. You honor me by allowing it, and it's been a joy to participate in this manner, and I want to thank you.
Well, we thank you. Okay, do I have a motion?
Madam Chairman, Larry Flair makes a motion to terminate the meeting.
Motion by Commissioner Flair, second by Commissioner Russo. Any discussion? Roll call.
Dr. Rich,
Aye.
Jerry Richards,
Oh, all right.
Larry Flair,
Aye.
Minnie Lane,
Aye.
Alan Russo,
Aye.
David Brown.
Aye.
Ayes have it, Madam Chair.
Okay, the meeting of the Tennessee Private Investigation and Polygraph Commission held on July the 22nd, 2016 is adjourned at approximately 11:50 a.m. No.